Do you want to be prepared for problems with the computers in your smart home? Not sure what tools you should have in your kit? Well, stay tuned and I'm going to show you how to put something together that may just be what you need. Welcome to another edition of Tech Bites with Ron Nutter, your home for all things relating to smart home technology. In this episode, we're going to talk about putting together your own smart home computer emergency kit. Hi, I'm Ron Nutter, and we're going to be working on this together. This content is also available as an Amazon flash briefing or podcast. Please go to techbiteswithrunnutter.com for more information. For any items mentioned in this episode, there are affiliate links in the description. If you click on these links, I will get a small commission, but that won't affect the price you pay for the item. If you want to get notified when new content is uploaded, please click on subscribe and enable notifications. Now here's what we're going to be covering in this video, and that's creating your own smart home computer emergency kit. We'll talk about assembling the kit, the tools from Microsoft that you're going to look at, the third-party tools, and then practice. Now, the first question we need to think about is what kind of emergency to prepare for. And having spent several years as a volunteer in emergency management at one point, you can never be prepared for everything. The best you can hope to do is to be able to cover a majority of what's there. So what we're going to concentrate on is what you'll probably run into on an average basis. It'll be up to but not including power supply failure, memory issues, and we're looking more kind of to the software area because outside of a power supply failure, I've generally had more software problems than anything else. So there's a variety of tools that we're going to look at. I think you'll be able to embellish this a little bit on your own and put together what's going to be best for you. I got the idea from this video from a fellow YouTuber. I'm taking it in a little bit different direction because there's some things that I've run into that may not be the emergency category, but something that, depends on what you define as emergency. Deleting a file, deleting it out of the recycle bin, and now you can't get to it? Depending on what's going on, that could be an emergency. So we're going to be kind of going a whole host of things. I'm actually going to help you set up or walk you through, I'll get the words out here in a moment, different USB drives. And now you don't have to use USB, but if you really want to make it compact, you can get an SD card reader and some SD cards. But I think this is probably a little better. Now, I'm big for having it labeled what's in there, and I'm a big fan and have been for years of the Pelican cases. So this is going to be something that's going to stand out, and if somebody happens to sit on it or put something on it, it's not going to look like another flash drive case. So that was the main thing. So I've already got it labeled, and I went and got a 5-pack of the PNY 32 gig drives. The video that I've got the link to said you could use, and you can if you want to, different size drives, but I wanted a uniform size across all of them so that I didn't have to worry about different kinds of setups. And I tried to make things as consistent as I could for me. That's just the way I prefer to do it. Plus, with getting 5 of these, then you sometimes will get a little bit better price. It doesn't have the cap that you have to flip to take off and then put back on, but it at least has a shield that slides back. So this is what I'm the most familiar with. There's any number of ways you can do it. Like I said, if you really want an ultimate compact one, you can get some SD cards and an SD card reader. Labeling the SD cards may be a little more involved, but that's certainly an option if you really want to have something you can just have in the pocket of your coat, or, again, your imagination is the limit on this one. This is just the way I chose to go with it. Well, now that you've got all the supplies you're going to need, I'm going to go and get started with the first one on my list, which is going to be PortableApps, because this is actually going to have one of the apps we're going to need, Rufus, to create a CD for one of the emergency USB drives that we're going to create. Now, what I'm doing is I've got labels already set up, much like you saw the label to the shell of this case. I'm going to have each one labeled because you do not want to depend on remembering, oh, well, this drive is this, or drive number 1 is this. And it just simply is going to be easier for you. But I don't put the label on until I've got the flash drive created and we've done an initial test. So just to be on the safe side. So let's go switch over here to our Intel NUC, and I'm going to take the first flash drive out of its case. We will just slide back the little shield there. And I am using the USB 3.0 port, so we don't spend forever and a day doing this one. We'll go down here to PortableApps, and it should see that we've got a USB drive created. Okay, English, yes. And this is one I have used over the years. So this is something you will be, I think, very happy with once you kind of get it up and running. So this is a new install. We're going to install to a portable drive. You can put it out on a cloud drive if you want to, which has got possibilities. But at this point, I want it local so we can run it a little bit faster. It's already picked up on the drive that we're going to use. And you can specify a custom location. We'll click next, then install. The main part of this doesn't take too long. And one of the reasons I picked a 64 gig drive is that you can now have plenty of room to do pretty much anything you want on here and have a little bit of room left over. So it's checking available drive space, which, trust me, there should be plenty because we've only got maybe not even a gig probably at this point tied up. It's going out checking the directory. This is one flash drive that you will probably want to plug in at least on a monthly basis, because what it will do when it first comes up is make sure that you've got the latest versions of the different apps. So it's better to do it when you don't need to use it, the way it's all ready to go. So we're all set there. We can go over here to apps. Now you can put everything on here, and that's something certainly that it can't hurt to have them here. That way you've already got them. So we're going to scroll down here. Believe it's the security area. One of the things, let's see, do they have Notepad++ on here? I'm going to put the MISoft emergency kit on here. Again, don't think that we'll need it, but it's an extra one to have. Certainly couldn't hurt. We'll get Eraser on here, and there's Rufus. We'll need that later for one of the other emergency USBs that we're going to create. And now it's going down through, and this is part will take a little while, but Rome wasn't built in a day, so this won't take that long, but you don't want to do this right as you need it. Okay, now we're through with this one, so we can go ahead and click Finish, Close, and then we can click on X because we need to terminate the app before we pull out the drive. We'll say yes. Something I did find out while I was getting this created, as I'm going to need to get a couple of small USB extension cables, like maybe a few inches, because the computer that I happen to be using, both the USB ports are so close that I can't put two of the drives I've selected. Now, some drives may be a little bit smaller, but you may still run into the problem depending on how close the ports are. By the time this video goes up, I'll have links out there to do exactly that, to show you what you need to have in your little kit. Okay, well, now I'm going to get the Windows 10 CD created. It's got to go through a few steps to get ready. What you want to do is we don't want to upgrade the PC we're on. We want to create the installation media. So we will click Next. Yes, we're going to go to English, Windows 10, which is the only thing it offers you. You can go both. I'm going to do just the 64-bit because I don't have the 32-bit anymore. If you do have 32-bit, then you've got the choice of either creating a combo media, or I would probably create separate ones just in case. I've never been a fan of having the combined media. So we'll click on Next, and we're going to be going to a flash drive. Needs to be at least 8 gigs. Duh. Okay, we're going to 32, so that's ready to go. It's got the right device, so we'll click on that. Click Next, and now's the part that may take a little while. Okay, as you can see, the flash drive is done. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click Finish here, and now setup's got to clean up. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if it's actually showing as a mounted drive. I would suspect it is. All right, so what we'll do is we will eject the drive, and we'll make sure that that's done. So I'm going to unplug the drive, and I will plug it back in. This is just a quick cursory check to see what all is there, and it looks fine from what I would expect to see. It's got boot directory, sources. So okay, I think we can safe to say that this one's gotten created and looks like it's okay. When you're setting up that new account for the smart home cloud service or device, please get a copy of my smart home device account checklist you see here on the screen. This will help make sure that everything gets written down that you entered to get that account created. The form will also serve as a backup copy when you get this entered into your password manager app. And if you're not already using a password manager app, please get one now and get started. You will be subscribed to my email list in exchange for the checklist. I won't share, rent, or sell your information to anyone. So now the next one we want to go create is the Ubuntu desktop disk. And this is going to let us mount or get into the Windows hard drive so that if we need to replace a file that Windows has tied open, or if we need to get access to some files to get them off the drive before wiping the drive out and starting over, this is what we want to do. So we'll start up Rufus. We're going to say no, not to check it online because I just got through downloading it. And we will select FreeDOS, click select to the right of the boot, select Ubuntu. Okay, so it's changed that to the ISO. So that's fine. It's changed the volume label. Boot selection has changed. So we're set, ready to go. We'll leave it on the defaults. We'll click start. Yes, we want to download. Yes, we want to write an ISO image format. Yes, it's going to be destroyed. Okay, now that this is completed, we can click on close. Drive D is showing mounted. It shows as Ubuntu. Okay, fine. We're going to eject, and then we'll unplug the drive, plug it back in. Should see that come up, and just want to make sure that the directory structure is there. Everything looks fine. Okay, so we've got that one created now. Okay, now the last one we're going to create is the Hiren Boot CD, and this is one that's got a whole plethora of files available to us. So I'll first put in the flash drive. So you'll need to get this ISO 2 to USB because Hiren's Boot CD is a little bit different, and we've already plugged in the flash drive. Apparently we need administrator rights. We'll right click, run as administrator. It found this immediately. We will click process, yes. So now that we've got this one all burned, and notice it didn't remount it, so that's good. So let's go here and we'll go back to power and we will say restart, and should see that F10 message. There we go. We'll get into the boot menu. Okay, so now we've got this and it says OS bootloader. Okay, fine. Okay, that was the right one. So here's Hiren's Boot CD. It's in the process of getting everything started up. We're going to say dynamic address, which it would take automatically. Comes with Chrome, Firefox, and we click on the menus. Looks like we're ready to go. We got utilities, quite a bit on here. So obviously we can call this one a success. Okay, we've walked you through the process of getting the starter point for your emergency kit to deal with hopefully most of the problems you run across in the PCs for your smart home. Would definitely encourage you, you're going to want to do some practicing before you try to use this in the real world, because that's the wrong time to start learning some of this. Actually, go to the thrift shop, get an old PC. That way you're not like the chicken and the pig in breakfast, where the chicken was involved but the pig was committed. This is at least a starting point for you. Enjoy. This is going to take you probably about 4 to 5 hours to set up if you do everything all at one setting. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see videos on the screen that are similar to the one you've just watched, or other content that YouTube thinks you might be interested in. If this video helps you or provides value, please click on the like button, thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click on subscribe now and enable notifications. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.